Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and in today's video I'll be taking a look at some of the few things that changed on PTR. This is going to be kind of like a shorter video, and I'm just going to talk about the changes that happened recently. We got a brand new defensive for Frost Death Knights. We're going to take a look at how it looks and how it works, and we're going to check out some more spell animations for Holy Paladins. So this should be a pretty short video. Alright, taking a look at the Death Knight, I just got him to Armory, just starting on war mode. One of the things I noticed is I had, because I don't know how to really play Death Knight, when I originally slotted in whatever I wanted for PvP, whenever I just do Battlegrounds, I just did all the auras. One of the things that's lost is the Blood Aura, or the, whatever you call it. The decay aura, where being around an enemy allows their health to decay over time. This is now only to Blood Death Knights and Holy Death Knights. On second, Heartstop Aura is now a 30% increase, decreases the cooldown and recovery rate of abilities by 30% instead of 20%, so that has been slightly buffed. And especially for Frost Death Knight, they added a brand new defensive called Lichborne. Replaces Icebound Fortitude, which I didn't know it did that, 1 minute cooldown. Draws upon Unholy and Frost energies to become undead for 10 seconds. While undead, all damage is reduced by 30%, and you're nearly unstoppable, becoming immune to stun, snare, fear, and root effects. However, during Lichborne, you can only move at walking speed and you attack 30% slower. That is an interesting way of going about it. Whoa, that's kind of weird. Lichborne, I know, was a thing that Death Knights have had for a while, actually. They had this way back in the day. It was basically Will of the Forsaken that I remember them having that in Cataclysm, and maybe even back in Mob. I want to first take a look at this ability and talk a bit about it. Let's see if it looks any visually different. No, it doesn't. It has exactly the same animation away before with a floating skull. I was really hoping it would do something crazy to the character themselves, but it makes you technically undead. So if you're going up against priests, or if you're going up against paladins, then there are certain spells that priests and paladins have that generally have an interesting interaction with the undead. So I guess this is very interesting in terms of how it's going to play into the game, especially into PvP. This does replace your IBF, so this is actually a pretty big defensive. Your normal IBF, normally, if you replace it, IBF is a 30% damage reduction that makes you immune to stuns, which is great on its own, and Stunbreaker, 8-second duration, 3-minute cooldown, 30% damage reduction. When you go for Lichborne, 30% damage reduction still, immune to stun, snare, fear, roots. I wonder if it allows you to break out of those effects as well. I would guess so. And you move slower though, so you're not quite as offensive, and your attack 30% slower. So this is actually interesting. Let's see how this works. Let me replace my weapon so I can... I don't have any great weapons in this guy, so don't make fun of me in the comments. But let's see, we have an enemy. Let's do this guy. You know, normally attacking him, all that good jazz, walking around fairly, I mean, as quick as a Death Knight can be. Popping on Lichborne, we are literally going at walking speeds like a walking zombie. And I guess it says we're attacking 30% slower? So, I couldn't really notice a 30% slower attack, but I guess it's a defensive, but also kind of negative at the same time. It still gives you a defensive at a very short cooldown, so you can use it a lot more often. It has a stipulation of making you undead, which has some unique interactions. It makes you immune to stun, snare, fear, and root effects, but also at the same time it has a big drawback. It makes your attacks 30% slower, some gets an auto attack, so you're not quite, you know, a damaging Goliath, but also you walk at walking speed, so anybody can get away from you. So this is really just kind of a flip, and I think it's interesting. I think we need a lot more abilities like these. I don't know how good this ability is, but what I already like about it is that risk-reward factor, right? Yeah, you're going to have a 1-minute cooldown for Lichborne, but you do have some stipulations. If you're going against paladins and priests, obviously you're probably going to run around Lichborne so you can have a defensive up more often, but it makes you undead. So that's going to be interesting interactions with those classes. Then walking speed and attacking slower, that's going to heavily reduce your defensive. So this is primarily, or offensive power, so this is primarily a defensive as it can get. So you can kind of combine it and overlay it together with offensive abilities in order to add you extra oomph or extra BM for it. So it's very, very interesting how it... I guess, interact. I like it. I like the idea of it. Let me know what your thoughts about it are on Death Knight. I'd like to know if they would maybe do some kind of a different animation. Maybe make it so it turns you into a ghoul, so you can really be seen that you turn yourself into an undead. I think it would be really, really cool. But this is everything that has happened with Death Knight. Let's move on to priests. Alright, now that we are on the Paladin, let's check out some of the few more animational changes they have. Whatever happened to my keybinds? I'm having to click all my abilities now to find a healing dummy. So, a couple things they changed. First of all, they changed a bit about the Beacon of Light. It no longer has that like white coating over it, so that's really cool. And now a lot of more abilities now interact with Beacon of Light. Like when you heal somebody or the person with Beacon Light, there's extra animations coming from the beacon target. So I'll have a healing dummy over here. A couple more abilities. I believe Flashlight got changed. Yep, Flashlight got changed. So now it looks like I'm getting coated. I'm getting showered with holy light. It's like a shower of gold. It's like a golden shower. This literally became worse the longer I went with it, but that's what it looks like. It's a really cool animation. I kind of like it, but it's literally golden shower when you think about it. Some of the other things the Blizzard has changed as well is whenever I get a heal or whenever I cast a heal, the target that is beaconed also is going to have a different effect. So when I'm going to heal myself, you can see holy target has an extra heal. Let's actually put it on this target and get a little closer so you guys can see if the NPC would move. Thank you. Perfect. So I'm gonna heal myself, and you'll see there's an extra heal coming out from the target. When I flash heal myself, it's a different effect. Makes me wonder if there's any other effects, but as far as we know, this is the only changes that for the, oh my god, the NPCs. This is the only changes for the beacon target that have really been implemented. So I'm trying to heal myself with holy light. We have one effect. Flash a light. Do we have another effect? What about if I heal myself with holy shock? Okay, so there is maybe like two animations, two different ones. So it looks like there is the holy light animation for some spells, or maybe it's slightly different, just like a very, very slightly different. And then there's the flash of light animation, or is it all the same? I think the intensity of the heal is a little different. No, it actually is exactly the same. So there's a healing animation whenever you heal a target of the Beacon of Light. So that is cool. That's something I wanted to see for myself, and I guess we get to test it out. These are the changes in terms of animations that have been added thus far. The Paladin ones I think are really cool for Holy Paladin. It's pretty cool. And the Death Knight one, I don't know. I guess I'll leave it to you guys to let me know in the comments what are your thoughts on it. I think it's interesting ideas. I think it's a more interesting honor talent that we have. And of course, again, animation changes a golden shower. I mean, that's just, I mean, that literally makes my day. Just because it's funny. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on the animations and Death Knight changes thus far in 8.1. And I'll see all of you guys in another video.